Nada Finai and welcome to the stream. Let me really quickly pull it up on here so that I can make sure everything's going okay. If it'll do it. Give it a second. Okay. Let me mute myself. And I think we're good to go. I do not remember what was happening last time I played this, but I think we'll get right into it. Give me a second. I need to pop chat out into its own thing. Just on the very off chance I get anyone chatting, which is unlikely, but you know, just in case. Let me resize that. Go. That looks good. Let's get that there and there. That looks good too now. Actually it doesn't. How do I fix that? I'm gonna need a second to fix this. Shit, why is this happening? That one, I think. Accidentally closed my browser, so I'm trying to fix this right now. Yikes. Okay. That's fixed there. That isn't fixed. Okay. Because for some reason it's saying the stream isn't running on my end, and I'm not sure why. I'm trying to fix that really quick. Sorry, this is taking a minute. I don't know why. And it could be I'm just talking to myself, so that would be funny, but we'll see here. Let's try this. Maybe that will fix it. I'm thinking it's less that it's not actually running and more. There we go. Yep, fixed it. Okay. Oh wow, I have real. Oh no, there. My quality's fine. For a second there, though. Okay. Pop out chat. Let's resize this all again. That looks good. All right, we're almost ready to go. But yeah, I can't remember if I started saying it or not, but I don't really remember where we were at in the game. But I think we can get right back into it pretty quickly. Back into the swing of things. Okay. Shit. Okay, I need to fix that. I thought I had this pretty sorted out before we began, so I'm surprised I'm having so many technical difficulties. Oh well. Fine. Let's get this resized. Okay. And then, where's the game? Alright, let's get into it. Day 3 Awakening. Okay. Alright, I see. I'm in a fire. Collapsing buildings and burning people. No matter how far I run, the scenery is always red. This is a vision of 10 years ago. A memory of the distant past I haven't remembered in a while. I run through it, as if recreating a scene. There is no escape, even though I know it's a dream. I run, keep running. In the end, where I end up is how I'm saved after running out of energy. I wake up with a bad feeling. Wait, give me 1 second. I just realized something that may be an error on my part. No, I'm good. I wake up with a bad feeling. A feeling like a metal weight is inside my chest. I feel my forehead and find I'm sweating a lot, even though it's winter. It's already past 6 o'clock. From the kitchen, I hear the sound of the kitchen knife cutting something. There's no time to be impressed. I have to get ready quickly and go help fix breakfast.
シロ、今日どうするのよ。土曜日だから午後はアルバイト？
いや、バイトは入ってないよ。一世のところで何かやってると思うけど、それがどうかしたか？
別に。暇だったら道場の方に遊びに来てくんないかなって。私、今月ピンチなのだ。
ピンチって何がさ？
お財布事情がピンチなの。誰かがお弁当を作ってくれると嬉しいんだけどな。
断る。自業自得だ。たまには一食ぐらい抜いた方がいい。
で、シロには期待してないもん。私が頼りにしてるのはさくらちゃんだけなんだから。ね、さくらちゃん。はい、私と同じものでよろしければ用意しておきますね、先生。オッケーオッケー。じゃあ今日は一緒にお昼を食べましょう。
Breakfast continues as usual. Today, along with the usual, there's simmered lotus root with chicken. I don't think she has to make anything this elaborate for breakfast, but I think she made a lot of it to take for lunch too. Sakura is a member of the archery club, and Fujine is in charge of the archery club. It's natural for them to share lunches.
そういえばシロ、今朝は遅かったけど何かあった？
Fujine looks at me, sipping her miso soup. Geez, she's usually slow, but she gets sharp only at times like this.
昔の夢を見た。寝覚めがすっげえ悪かっただけで、あとはなんともない。
なんだ、いつものことか。なら安心かな。
Fujine ends the conversation like she's not interested. I'm not worried at all about it either, so I shouldn't get mad about it. 10 years ago. I used to have nightmares back when I couldn't get the fire out of my mind. But I saw less of it as time passed, and I'm well over it now that I can... Oh, wow, what the hell? But I saw less of it as time passed, and I'm well over it now that I can let it slide even after dreaming about it. But I guess it was pretty bad back then. Since Fujine has been here since that time, she's sensitive to my change.
シロ、食欲はある？今朝に限ってないとかない？
Oof. There's something about that second line that made me have to double take it. I'm not sure. Something about the grammar feels off. It's not tracking my mouth? Oh no, it is. Give me a second. Let's see if that fixes the tracking. It seems to have. I'm also messing around with the mic a little bit. So hopefully it sounds fine. There's no buzzing or anything. There shouldn't be, but I'm sorry if there is. Anyway.
ない。なんともないんだから、人の夢にかこつけて飯を横取りするな。
シロが強くなってくれて嬉しいけど、もうちょっと繊細でいてくれた方がいいな、お姉ちゃんは。
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。もうちょっと可憐になってくれた方がいいぞ、弟分としては。
She's perfect. We make fun of each other without looking at each other. That proves my liveliness, and Fujine laughs with relief. To be honest, I'm glad she's worrying. But she'll be elated if I thank her, so I act like I'm discontented. Not knowing the circumstances, Sakura looks puzzled at the way we are acting. After Fujine leaves, we lock the house and leave.
先輩、今日の夜から月曜日までお手伝いに来れませんけどよろしいですか？
別にいいよ。だって土日だろ。さくらだって付き合いがあるんだから気にすることないぞ。
そんな違います。そういうんじゃないです。本当に個人的な用事でちゃんと部活にだって出るんですから。だから何かあったら道場に来てくれれば何とかします。
There's a split with the Heavens Feel route here, isn't there? There is. I knew it. Okay.
別に土日だからって遊びに行くわけじゃないです。だから変な勘違いはしないでもらえると助かります。
I mostly mention it because I'm trying to make sure I don't like where I'm at, because I'm not 100% sure that I'm in the place of the what's it called? My flowchart that I think I am, but it's looking like I am, so we're probably good. Sakura's acting suspicious, and she looks very tense. I don't know why, but I guess she just means she can't come over this weekend.
分かった。なんかあったら道場に行くよ。
はい、そうしてもらえれば嬉しいです。
Sakura looks relieved, and when she looks down, her face suddenly stiffens.
先輩って
Sakura's staring at my left hand. Looking down at it, it's bleeding.
あれ
I pull up my sleeve. There is certainly blood there.
なんだこれ。昨日の夜ガラクタいじってて切ったかな。
But it doesn't hurt at all. It's just a welt on there. Or there's just a welt on there. The welt goes straight from my shoulder down to the hand. It looks kind of like a small snake running from my shoulder to my hand.
ま、痛みもないし、すぐに引くだろう。大丈夫。気にするほどじゃない。
That was a people die when they are killed moment, right? The welt goes straight from my shoulder down to my hand, and it looks like a small snake running from my shoulder. Yeah, it is a people die when we are killed moment.
はい、先輩がそう言うのでしたら気にしません。
Perhaps she's feeling bad for seeing the blood, as Sakura looks away and falls silent. I leave Sakura, who has club activities, and head to the school building. The schoolyard is full of spirited students running around. Not about, around. But still, there's something oddly wrong here. The school's like it always is. The students at morning practice are lively, and the new school building is spotless.
気のせいか、これ。
But when I close my eyes, the air completely changes. The school building is covered with stains like membranes, and the students... Okay. And the students running around the schoolyard seem like empty dolls. I don't know why that sentence bothered me, or I guess part of the sentence bothered me.
疲れてるのかな、おい。
I don't know, I guess I've never thought of a membrane as a stain before. I shake my head to clear it. I head to the lifeless building. School ends early on Saturdays. Classes end before noon, and I finish helping Issei. The sun is starting to set.
さて、そろそろ帰るか。
Pack up and leave my classroom. And then
なんだ、まだ学校にいたんだ、エミヤ。
I bump into Shinji. There are a couple of girls behind him, being rowdy.
やることもないくせにまだ残ってたの？ああ、そうか。また生徒会にごますってたわけね。いいね、エミヤは。部活なんてやんなくても内心稼げるんだからさ。
Give me 1 second. I just want to check something. Because I'm trying to remember why I have an extra save. I suppose it doesn't matter. If you what's cool. Oh, I know. It's for each stream I do. I think. get good reports from school without doing any work.
生徒会の手伝いじゃないぞ。学校の備品を直すのは生徒として当たり前だろ。使ってるのは俺たちなんだから。
There's a logic to that.
よく言うよ。エミヤに言わせれば何だって当たり前だからね。そういういい子ぶりが勘に触るって前に言わなかったっけ？
すまん。よく覚えていない。それシンジの口癖だと思っていたから、どうも聞き流してた。
Fuck, I skipped it. I'm sorry, I don't remember that. I thought it was just the sort of thing you say, so I didn't really notice it.
そうかい。それじゃあ学校にあるものなら何でも直してくれるんだ、エミヤは。
何でも直すなんて無理だ。せいぜい面倒見るぐらいだが。
よし、なら頼まれてくれよ。うちの弓道場さ、今割と散らかってるんだよね。弦も巻いてないのが溜まってるし、安土の掃除もできてない。
I don't really understand what his point is, like being mad that Shinji is repairing stuff. Because it's not him being forced to do it or anything. I don't know. I just know Shinji... Oh wait. Who did I... Fuck. I completely forgot what I said. I don't know why he's mad that Shiro is repairing stuff, since it's not him doing it. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Because he's kind of a selfish person, so... I don't know. It just doesn't quite make sense. He just seems mad to be mad. Maybe there's a logic I just don't get. Anyway.
暇ならさ、そっちの方もよろしくやってくれないかな。元弓道部員だろ。生徒会になんか尻尾振ってないで、たまには僕たちの役に立ってくれ。
ちょっと先輩、それって先輩が藤村先生に言われてたことじゃなかった？
そうですよ。ちゃんとやっておかないと明日怒られますよ。
でもさ、今から片付けしてたら店閉まるじゃん。そこの人がやってくれんならそれでいいんじゃないの？
悪いよ。それに部外者に後片付けなんかできるわけないし。
そうでもないんじゃない？あの人元弓道部員だってシンジが言ってるしさ、任せちゃえばいいのよ。
They're getting rowdy behind Shinji. It seems they're in the archery club, but they must be members that Shinji recruited recently, as I don't know them.
じゃあ、あとはよろしく。鍵の場所は変わってないから、勝手にやっといてよ。文句ないよ。
なあ、構わないよ。
Don't mind, right?
どうせ暇だったから、たまにはこういうのも悪くない。
サンキュー。それじゃあ行こうぜみんな。つまんない雑用はあいつがやっといてくれるってさ。
I'm gonna keep my finger off the enter key now.
待ってよ先輩。じゃああとはよろしくお願いしますね先輩。
The cleaning ends quite easily, as I know the place well. It took a while, as it's quite big, but it was fun cleaning the place I used until a year and a half ago. I picked up a bow, thinking it might be okay to shoot just once, but since it wasn't mine, I decided not to. Probably smart. If I ever want to, I can bring my own bow and come here.
にしてもカーボン製の弓が多くなったな。1年前までは1つしかなかったのに。
Oh, sorry. Carbon-based bows are good, unlike wood and plastic bows. But the biggest problem is the price, and they're not something we could buy with the club budget. Back then, Shinji was the only one using it. Are the new members rich too?
もったいない。木の弓の方がいろいろと手を加えられるのに。
Well, I guess that's personal taste right there. When I look at the clock, it's way past curfew. Is it carbon or is it carbon fiber? Sorry, I was thinking about the bow material. It would probably be... Oh, man, I'm trying to think. Whatever. Anyway, it's a little after 7 o'clock. The gates should be closed by now, so there's no reason to rush now. But still, this was this dojo always this dirty? There are loads of places that look unkept. Oh, and I also only just remembered these are Japanese style bows, not like Western bows, so they would also be different for a mat than what I'm used to. Anyway, yeah, always dojo, there are lots of places that look kept.
ここまで来たら1時間も2時間も変わらないか。
I started this, so I'll finish the job. The wind is blowing. It's so cold that my cheeks are getting numb. Fuyuki City isn't usually cold during the winter, but it is cold tonight of all nights. Okay, so it's got to be pretty far south. Oh yeah, I've since been to Japan since the last time I streamed this, so I might make connections to that while streaming it, but yeah, just as an aside. My breath hangs around as a white cloud. I wrap up my body and to hold off the cold.
なんだ。暗いと思ったら月が隠れてるのか。
There's no light in the sky when I look up. Because of the strong winds, the clouds are moving fast. It's past curfew and there's no sign of life in the empty school. It seems this place is filled only with chill, as it's all silent. Just now? I think I heard something.
確かに聞こえる。校庭の方か。
Oh, I know where we're at. This night. I must have been curious about the sound that broke the silence. To investigate it, I find myself heading there even though I somehow know that I mustn't. I go to the schoolyard.
人？
Well, they only look like that from a distance. It's a dark night with no light. If I want to know more, I'll have to go closer to the schoolyard. I can hear the sounds louder now. It's the sound of metal hitting metal. That must mean someone is fighting with weapons here? There? I dismiss the image from my mind with a bitter smile and walk on. At the time, maybe my instincts noticed the danger as I hid myself as I approached. I don't know if this is fortunate or not. But anyways, when I get by a tree that is big enough to hide myself, I take a closer look at the source of the sound. My mind stops completely. There's something strange there. A man in red and a man in blue. They're dangerously armed, and as their ominous appearance suggests, they're actually slashing at each other. I can't understand. I can't follow them with my eyes. My brain does not work properly, faced with their impossible movements. But the clang of their weapons tells me they're trying to kill each other. I just knew immediately when I saw them. They're not human. They're probably just things that look like humans. I can tell not because I'm learning magic. Anyone would realize they're not human. After all, humans can't move like that. So there is something no one should associate with. I can feel their murderous intent even from a distance. I'm going to die. My body understands faster than my brain that I will definitely die if I stay here. That's why my heart is racing so fast. As a living thing like them, I sense that they are living things made only to kill. They're using weapons made only to kill. I mean, isn't that most weapons? I remember the murder yesterday. They said the family was killed with some weapon like a sword. I shouldn't watch any longer. But my body won't follow my commands. I can't even breathe. My mind wants to run away. but my judgment tells me I'll be seen the moment I run away. More than the conflict within me, my body is just numb. Even though I'm over 40 meters away, I can't breathe properly. It's like I have a spear pointed right at my back. The sounds stop. The figures separate and stand facing each other. The moment I feel relief at the end of their battle, I sense an even stronger intention to kill. My heart stops. The numbness in my body becomes convulsions, and I clench my teeth to try to hold my trembling body. An overwhelming amount of magical energy is flowing into the guy in blue. Kiritsugu showed me once what it... wow. Why can I not read that properly? Kiritsugu showed me once what it's like to draw in magical energy from the surroundings. It was a beautiful magic that impressed even an amateur like me. But that thing is different. Just as even the simple task of drinking water can seem ugly if it goes too far, what he's doing is so excessive that anyone with any knowledge of magical energy would hate it. He's going to die. The guy in red is going to die. It's a blow with that much concentrated magical energy. There's no way he'll be able to survive it. He'll die. It's not human, so something merely like a human will die. That's something I can just ignore? That doubt takes my mind off of them. The binds on my body disappear, and the instant I take a breath... The guy in blue stares at me, who's hiding. The blue guy's body sinks. Just that motion tells me that I'm his target now. My legs start running automatically. I finally realize that it is an action to escape death, and I put all the energy in my body into running away. I don't know how fast I ran, but before I know it, I'm in the school building. I regret my actions, panting heavily. I should have run into town to get away. What am I doing? Fleeing to such a deserted place? And to school of all things. Isn't there some better place to hide than here? Anyways, why do I think I'll be killed if I don't? My heart aches from running so much. Turning around, I can sense nothing pursuing me. The only sound in the air is the sound of my footsteps. So I can finally rest. I stop my feet, unable to take another step, send oxygen to my pumping heart, and look up to finally realize that I'm safe. I recall the scene from earlier while I catch my I recall the scene from earlier while catching my breath. Anyway, I'm sure that wasn't something I should have seen. Some things like humans were fighting in the school grounds. That's all I can remember. But there was something else I saw out of the corner of my eye. But I can't remember what that figure looked like. To be honest, I didn't have the composure to notice anything other than those two fighting. The voice comes from right in front of me. He speaks in a friendly tone. Does he, though? I can't breathe. My brain stops, and even though I can't think, I vaguely understand that I'm going to die.
逃げられないってのはお前自身が誰よりも分かってたんだろう。何？やられる側ってのは得てしてそういうもんだ。別に恥じることじゃない。
The lance is casually raised. Ugh. Give me a second, I gotta reposition myself.
運が悪かったな、坊主。 ま、見られたからには死んでくれよ。
The man's lance mercilessly pierces Imiya Shiro's heart. There wasn't even time to dodge it. All the training I did was for nothing. I knew I was going to be killed. I knew I was going to be pierced by that lance, yet I couldn't move at all. The world distorts. My body goes cold. Feeling vanishes from my fingertips. I cough up blood once. More blood should have come up, but it only happens once. Perhaps the man's lance is special. The blood slowly clots, and the heart that should have exploded stops working with a single pierce. I can't see well. There's no feeling in me. I feel like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. I don't feel any pain already. The world is white, and only I am black. So rather than feeling like I'm dead, it's more like the world around me has disappeared. I know this. I felt this 10 years ago. This is how someone feels when dying.
死人に口なしってな。弱いやつがくたばるのは当然といえば当然だが。
I can't concentrate on my vision.
まったく嫌な仕事をさせてくれる。このざまで英雄とは笑い草だ。
I can only hear voices.
分かっている。文句はないさ。女のサーバントは見たんだ。おとなしく戻ってやるよ。
A voice filled with irritation. And after that, I hear footsteps running through the hallway.
アーチャーか。蹴りをつけておきたいところだが、マスターの方針を破るわけにもいくまい。まったく、いけすかねえマスターだこと。
The voice suddenly disappears. I guess he jumped out a window or something. And after that, footsteps approach me and stop. In that brief period, more footsteps. I can't hear much now.
追ってアーチャー。ランサーはマスターのところに戻るはず。せめて相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと。
Whose voice was that? I concentrate my fading mind, but I can't remember anything. Right now, my breathing is too noisy. My lungs must still be alive. The air coming out of my mouth is as loud as a hurricane.
その割にはまだ死んでないってのはすごいな。
I sense someone looking at my face. Perhaps my breathing was loud as the figure tries to close my mouth, and
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
I hear the person grit their teeth. Then they touch me without hesitation.
破損した臓器を偽造して代用。その間に心臓一つ丸々修復か。こんなの成功したら時計塔に一発合格ってレベルじゃない。
A pain-filled voice. With that, my mind stops fading. Feeling returns to my body. Slowly, bit by bit, like a drop of water going down a leaf, feeling returns to my body. What is the person doing? The person is sweating and places their hand on my chest with all their heart. When I notice, the place where the person placed their hand is terribly hot. It must be so hot that the frozen blood melted and started to flow again. I sense someone take a deep breath and sit down.
疲れた。
I hear a clang of something falling.
まあ仕方ないか。ごめんなさい父さん。あなたの娘はとんでもなく薄情者です。
And that's it. The person speaks to mock themselves and leaves. My heart resumes its activity, and then my mind stops. This is not the sleep of death. This is a restful sleep, to recover the energy to wake up again. I wake up. I feel sick. My whole body is in pain, and I have a sharp headache each time my heart throbs. I can't remember because of the sharp headache. My body is cold, probably from lying on the floor for a long time. The only certain thing is my ripped uniform and my own blood on the floor. I get up with a hazy head. The spot where I was lying looks like a murder scene. I mean, it technically is a murder scene. Had my chest pierced? Bearing the pain, I enter the closest classroom. Moving to the locker with unsteady steps, I take out a mop and a bucket. I'm still confused. Why do I still think I have to clean up when I've just met something totally outrageous and been killed instantly? Am I an idiot? And yes, he is an idiot, but that's besides the point. I wipe the floor with the mop. With unsteady hands, I manage to get the blood wiped off and pick up any trash lying around and put it into my pockets. Maybe I'm destroying the evidence. I'm still in a daze, so perhaps that's why I'm doing something so absurd. I put back the mop and bucket and leave the school like a zombie. I get hotter as I walk. The air is so cold, but it feels like my body is burning. When I get home, the day has already changed. There's no one home. Neither Fujine nor Sakura is around now. I collapse to the floor. I lie on the ground and finally calm down. I take a deep breath. When I inhale, my heart cries in pain as if cracking apart. No, that's wrong. It wasn't just cracked. It had a hole in it. But it healed. And the wound tries to open up again when I inhale. No, that's wrong too. I wasn't almost killed. I was actually killed. But I'm still alive in spite of that. Because someone saved me. But I thought people died when they are killed, guys. Anyway. Since the person was there, that person might have something to do with them. But that makes no difference to the fact that the person saved me. I have to thank them one of these days. Also, just one of the hardest lines to follow. Since the person was there, that person might have something to do with them. Very descriptive. Anyway. Makes no difference to the fact that the person saved me, and I have to thank them one of these days. The moment I let my guard down, the pain returns. At the same time, I feel like vomiting. I sit up and resist the sickness. I place my hand on my bare chest where the uniform is ripped. Even though I was saved, I did have a hole in my chest. That feeling. Such an unpleasant feeling. A spearhead entering my body isn't something I can forget easily. If I close my eyes, it feels like the lance is still in me. I shake off that illusion and try to calm down. The result of all that training every night. Just taking a few deep breaths clears my mind, and the heat and nausea vanish from my body.
それであれのことだけど
A man in blue and a man in red. They looked human, but I don't think they were. Were they like ghosts or something? But I've never heard of ghosts with form, able to associate directly with people. And they were talking too. If they had their own will, it's hard for me to think of them as ghosts. I've heard that the only ghosts with a body are spirits, but aren't they shaped differently from humans?
いや問題はそんなじゃなくて
There's another fundamental problem. Those two who were killing each other. The murderous burglar that has appeared in the neighborhood. The ongoing ominous events in Fuyuki City. All I can tell with such thoughts is that it's a way out of my league.
こんな時
Or,
親父が生きてれば
all I can tell with such thoughts is that it's way out of my league. My father was still alive. Perhaps because the wound on my chest is so vivid, I complain about things I shouldn't.
まあ抜けわからなくても自分にできることをやるって決めてるじゃないか
Complaining comes later, so I just want to check something. Okay, that is how I open that. First, I have to decide whether or not it's my concern. The bell hung from the ceiling rings. What? This is a magus' house, even if only a poor one. There is a boundary field that alerts me when a stranger enters the property.
こんな時に泥棒か
As I speak, I realize my foolishness. That can't be it. With this timing, right after that strange incident, that can't be it. There's an intruder, but not a burglar, an assassin, who's here for my life. Because I remember that guy saying, "You saw us, so die." The house is filled with silence. In the silent darkness, the murderous intent I felt at school is slowly drawing closer. My throat gulps. I feel a sharp chill running down my spine. I will be instantly pierced if I move from this room. I frantically contain the scream about to escape from my mouth. The instant I release it, the assassin will happily jump in and take the opportunity to kill me. If that happens, it will be just like before. Unprepared, I will be pierced by that lance again. The moment I think about it, my breathing goes wild. Damn it. I'm ashamed that I'm about to give up my saved life so easily, and that I'm afraid. Gritting my teeth and holding my chest, I try to restrain myself. I should get used to it. This is the second time. This is the second time I'm about to be killed. That alone is enough to make me want to end... That alone is enough to make me want it to end differently from last time. Besides, I'm a magus. What have I been learning for the past 8 years, if I can't even protect my own life?
いいぜやってやろうじゃないか
Enough thinking. Right now, I just have to counter the intruder.
武器をどうにかしないと
Even though I'm a magus, all I can do is strengthen something that could be a weapon. To fight, I need a weapon. The shed has lots of things that could become weapons, but it's too far away. If I'm attacked when I leave the living room, it will just be a repeat of what happened earlier. It'll be difficult, but I have to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be best. My opponent's weapon is a lance, so something like a knife won't do. It would be great if there was a wooden sword or something, but of course, there's nothing. If anything here could be a weapon, it's...
藤姉が置いてったポスターしかね
I'm disappointed. But despite that, I'm determined even in this hopeless situation. Things are already as bad as they can be, so they can't get any worse. So all I have to do is run forward until I run out of energy. Trace away. With the words that suggest my reconstruction, I channel magical energy into the 60-centimeter long poster. I have to turn it into something that can repel that lance, so I need to channel magical energy to every corner and solidify it. Basic. I extend my consciousness. As if soaking my blood into the poster through my skin, I permeate magical energy into it. I sense that I've hit the bottom, right before the magical energy overflows from it. I cut off all connection with the poster and shudder at the feeling of success. The poster is now as hard as metal, but it is as light as it was before, so I couldn't ask for a better sword. How many years has it been since I last succeeded in strengthening magic? It's kind of ironic. The magic I've never been able to achieve since Kiritsugu died is finally working in this kind of a situation. I might be able to do something. I have some knowledge of how to use a sword. I hold the poster with both hands and stand up. I'll die anyway if I stay here. I don't think I would be able to flee even if I escaped this house. So all I can do is run straight to the shed and make a stronger weapon. Come if you're going to come. It won't be like before, and the instant I think that, my whole spine shivers. When did he arrive? Appearing from the ceiling, the guy drops straight at me. Silver light descends upon me. The guy that seems to have come straight through the ceiling descends to pierce my head. I frantically escape by rolling forward. He lands softly while I keep rolling. But I stop rolling and stand with my freshly made sword in hand. He turns to face me, looking bored. He raises his lance again, seemingly interested. Blah. I don't know why, but he lacks the spirit he had at the school ground. In that case, I might be able to outwit him. The man is complaining as if he thinks nothing of me. I slowly move backwards. It's about 3 more meters to the window. Once out the window, it's about 20 meters to the shed. Then, I can run off this instant. He says blankly, as if sighing it out. Pain assails my right arm. It happened in an instant. The man's lance is thrust without time for me to react. I would have faced my second death with that blow, but what prevented it was my newly made sword. He must have thought it was just paper. The lance thrust as if the poster wasn't there, was deflected by it and only skimmed my right arm. The man's expression goes away. His carelessness disappears, and now he's staring at me with beast-like eyes. He's second, I got a message on Discord. Okay. Nothing that matters. I screwed up. I was just being stupidly optimistic when I thought I could do something. The thing before me is a monster beyond belief. Painfully, I realized my foolishness for letting my guard down even slightly against him. That's right. If I'd been really desperate, I should have ran frantically to the window as soon as I miraculously avoided his first attack.
ただの坊主かと思ったが、なるほど。微弱だが魔力を感じる。心臓をうがたれて生きているってのはそういうことか。
He points his lance at me. I won't be able to block it. I can't possibly block that lightning-fasted blow. If his weapon were a sword, I might have been able to at least prepare for it. But that's a lance. A sword follows a line, but a lance has a point. How am I supposed to block a blow from a point that I can't even see coming?
いいぜ。少しは楽しめそうじゃないか。
The man's body descends. In that instant, his lance is swung sideways. I block the lance coming at my face with just my instincts.
いい子だ。ほら次行くぞ。
There's a huge whirlwind. I don't know how he's moving the lance in this small room, but it makes a beautiful arc and comes to attack my body from the other side. My constructed sword moved to stop it, bends. Oh, my constructed sword moved to stop it, bends. Is he using a hammer? Damn. This numbness feels like I've broken the bones in my arm.
Come on!
I swing the sword instinctively. He must take me lightly as he hasn't pulled back his lance, so I flick away the shaft with my sword. The arms that hit it go numb. The sword bends even more, and the man's lance only moves slightly.
使えねえな。機械をくれてやったのに無駄な真似しやがって。まあ魔術師に切り合いを望んでも仕方ねえんだろうが。
The man was just playing with me. He let me hit him once since I blocked him twice. But I used up my one and only chance for just a makeshift attack. That's why he sees no point in fighting me anymore.
拍子抜けだ。やはりすぐに死ねよ、坊主。
He readies his lance again. During that small, unnecessary movement. Without looking behind me, I jump out the window. I break the window with my back and roll outside. I roll a few times, get up, and... Without a thought, I turn and swing behind me. The man hesitates a moment as I deflected his lance thrust. As I expected. If I jumped out the window, he would definitely come after me. And he would kill me even before I could get up. That's why I expected the fatal blow and swung at it. It was a bold plan. I would have died if it was a second too late or a second too early, but considering the difference in our skill, I could never have been too early. So all I had to do was get up as fast as possible and swing at what was coming behind me. The result was perfect. I won my bet and deflected the man's lance. I quickly regained my balance. Now I have to make it to the shed before he recovers.
飛べ。
The man who supposedly had his lance knocked away comes up to me empty-handed and spins and executes a roundhouse kick. Scenery flies past me. My battered chest is numb and I can't breathe. No, what's more surprising is I'm flying. I never in my dreams thought I would be sent flying by a mere roundhouse kick. I fall to the ground from my back. I hit a wall and come crashing down. I can't breathe. My vision is blurred. I managed to stand, supporting myself against the wall of my destination, the shed. I track the man with my blurry vision. I must have been kicked 20 meters. The man approaches, lance in hand. I'll be killed. I'll definitely be killed. The man will be here in a second. If I don't want to die now, I have to get up and face him. The lance comes out at me. I can't even turn around fully, and my collapsing body faces... I can't even turn around fully. My collapsing body faces the man's lance. How fortunate. I got lucky as I couldn't hold myself up and my knees collapsed. The lance goes over my head and hits the door of the shed, opening it. So this is my last chance. If I go in the shed, there should be something that I could use as a weapon. I enter the shed on all fours. There. A fatal, inescapable blow is thrust. And I block it. I unroll the poster and make it into a one-time shield. A huge impact. The opened up poster did block the lance, but it was not strong enough. It pierced through and transforms back into its original paper. Hit by the impact of the thrust lance, I'm flung to the wall. I fall on my butt and recover myself. When I raise my head to try and find a weapon, the man is pointing the lance at me. This is it. The man's lance is pointed directly at my heart. I know this. This is the smell of death I felt just a few hours ago.
Shikashi, わからねえな。起点は効くくせに魔術はからっきしときた。筋はいいようだが、まだ若すぎたか。
I can't hear him. My mind is focused only on the weapon in front of me. It's only natural, because I'll die when that thing is thrust. So everything else is gone from my mind. What else can I think about now that things have ended up like this?
もしやとは思うが、お前が7人目だったのかもな。ま、だとしてもこれで終わりなんだが。
The man's arm moves. The movement I couldn't The movement I couldn't even see before looks like it's in slow motion now. The running silver light. The spearhead moves straight for my heart. It will spill blood in the next second. I know this feeling. The feeling of metal running into me. The taste of blood coming up through my throat. The sense of the world around me disappearing. I felt all of it earlier. And have to experience it again? Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to go through this? This is bullshit. I can't accept this. I can't die here meaninglessly. I was saved. I was saved, so I can't die so easily. I have to live and fulfill my obligations. Even if I die, I can't do... If I die, I can't do that. But the lance will pierce me. The spearhead will cut into my flesh and pierce my heart. It pisses me off. It's ridiculous to kill someone that easily. It's ridiculous for me to die so easily. Dying twice in one day. That's ridiculous as well. Damn. Everything is so screwed up that I can't even contain it all, and
ふざけるな。俺は
won't be killed meaninglessly by someone like you. Truly, it
何
appeared like magic. In a blinding light, it appears from behind me. My mind stops. All I know is that the figure who appeared is a girl. The moment it appears, it repels the lance thrust at my heart and steps up to the enemy without hesitation.
本気か7人目のサーバントだと
The man readies his deflected lance, and the girl swings something she is holding. Sparks fly twice. A strong swing. The man hesitates, receiving a heavy blow from the girl. He must have realized he's at a disadvantage, as he jumps out of the shed with bestial speed. While keeping her guard up against the man, she quietly turns to me. The wind is strong today. The clouds drift and the moon appears for a brief moment. The silver light that shines into the shed lights up the girl in knightly form. I'm speechless, not because I'm confused by the sudden turn of events. I'm at a loss for words because this girl's overwhelming beauty. The girl stares at me emotionlessly with her jewel-like eyes.
とあなたが私のマスターか
She says in a valiant voice.
マスター
I only repeat back her words. I don't know what she is or what she's talking about. All I know is that this small girl is the same kind of being as the man outside. The girl says nothing and just stares at me silently. How can I put this? The figure in front of me is so special that I forget the situation. The man outside could come and attack at any second. It feels like time has stopped just around me. The fear of death has disappeared, and only the girl fills my vision.
サーバントセーバー召喚に従い参上したマスター指示を
She speaks again. The instant I hear the words master and servant, a pain shoots through my left hand. It's like a hot iron has been placed on my hand. I grab my left hand instinctively. That must have been the signal, as the girl quietly nods her lovely face.
これより我が剣はあなたと共
Hate
にあ
that
り
description. Hate
あ
that
なたの運
description.
命は私と共にあるここに契約は完了した
契約って何の
Even I have some knowledge of magic. I understood... Even I have some... Okay, yeah. I understood what that word means. But the girl doesn't answer me, and looks away with the same grace she had when she nodded. She looks at the door of the shed. There stands the man, his lance ready in his hand. She moves faster than I can think. The knightly girl leaps out of the shed without hesitation. I get up and follow the girl, even forgetting the pain in my body. There's no way that girl will be a match for him. Even armored like that, she's a girl smaller than me.
やめ
My words are silenced by the sound. I can't believe my eyes. This time, my head really goes blank.
なんだあいつ
The sound of weapons. The moon is hidden behind the clouds, and the yard has returned to its original darkness. In it, sparks are born from steel hitting steel. The lance-wielding man wordlessly attacks the girl who jumped out of the shed. But the girl parries the blow of the lance and knocks away all following attacks, driving the man back with every blow. I can't believe it. The girl called Saber is overpowering that man. The battle has begun. What happened between me and him earlier wasn't even a battle. A battle is a fight between two people who can kill each other. Whatever the difference in skills, if each has a way to kill the other, then you can call it a battle. Sometimes these fucking descriptions, man. The fight is a battle in that sense too. The man's lance that I couldn't even see is thrown with even more power. But the girl parries it with a thing in her hands and closes in on the man. The man retreats a bit. He holds his lance vertically to protect his ribs as the girl goes for them. For a moment, the man's lance glows. It was a blow like an explosion, and I guess it really was one. The instant the man blocks the thing the girl's holding, the lance in his hand glows as if electrified. The man, and even I can tell what that is. That is a force of magical energy so strong that it's visible. And each of the girl's blows is a terrible amount of magical energy. God damn it. That outrageous amount of magical energy is penetrating the opponent's weapon just by touching it. Such a thing. It would take such force just to block it. If you think the man's lance is an accurate sniper rifle, the blows of the girl are like those of a powerful shotgun. Every time the girl swings, the yard is filled with light. But that isn't what's overpowering the man. The man complains while avoiding the girl's fierce attacks. The girl doesn't answer, but only attacks even more with the thing in her hand. The man retreats, with not even a chance for a counterattack. That's only natural, because the girl's weapon is invisible. As he can't sense her range, it would be careless to attack recklessly. Yes, it's invisible. The girl definitely has something in her hand. But as you can't see what shape it is, nor how long it is, you can't tell anything about it. Perhaps it's totally invisible, as it does not show up even when sparks fly off from it. Man must be having a hard time defending against it, as his moves aren't as sharp. And the girl lets out a voice for the first time. She swings her weapon with more fury. A storm of swings without pause. Flying sparks remind me of a blacksmith hitting iron. The lance-wielding man blocks them, clicking his tongue. I must say, I admire his skills, even though he tried to kill me. The man is blocking invisible blows, watching only the opponent's legs and arms. But that's it. You only need to beat down someone who's gone defensive. As if to say so, the girl steps even closer to the man and delivers a blow with all her might, as if smashing him down. He must see this as his opportunity, as the man disappears. No, he jumped back, making it look like he disappeared. The girl's blow cuts through the air and destroys the ground, kicking up dust. The blow swung as a final one was easily dodged. I can tell even from a distance. I don't know how the careful blows from before. What? I don't know about the careful blows from before, But such a big blow won't be able to touch that man. Even that man's body must have been straining under all those attacks. But he suppressed it for an instant and jumped away, as if this blow would determine the victor. The man who jumped back several meters jumps as soon as he lands. As if reversing his retreat, he jumps at the girl. In contrast, the girl still has her sword in the ground. That opening is irrevocable. The red lance returns in less than a second, and the girl twirls her body with the sword still in the ground. So the contest lasts less than a second. The man sees his mistake and tries to hold back, while the girl uses her whole body to execute her blow. The man blown away and the girl who blew him away both seem discontent. It's only natural. They each launched their blows to kill the other. Even if they allowed them to escape immediate danger, they were worthless. Their distance opens. The two stare at each other silently.
どうしたランサー。止まっていては僧兵の名が泣こう。そちらが来ないのなら私が行くが。
わざわざ死にに来るか。それは構わんが、その前に一つだけ聞かせろ。貴様の宝具、それは剣か。
The man glares, as if staring right into her heart.
さあどうかな。旋風かもしれぬし、双剣かもしれぬ。いや、もしや弓かもしれんぞ、ランサ
ー。抜かせ、セイバ
ー。Perhaps it's really funny to him. For him. The man, the one called Lancer, lowers his lance. He looks like he's indicating that he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl is puzzled by Lancer's action, but I know that stance. It was used in that fight from a few hours ago in the schoolyard. It's the fatal move that was supposed to have ended the show.
ついでにもう一つ聞くがな。お互い初見だしよ。ここらで分けって気はないか。
Give me 1 second. I want to check something. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
悪い話じゃないだろ。そら、あそこでほうけているお前のマスターは使い物にならんし、俺のマスターとて姿を晒せねえ大ふぬけときた。ここはお互い万全の状態になるまで勝負を持ち越した方が好ましいんだが。
断る。あなたはここで倒れろ、ランサー。
そうかよ。たく、こっちはもともと様子見が目的だったんだぜ。サーバントが出たとあっちゃ長居する気はなかったんだが。
Seems like the air around them distorted. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill runs through the air at that moment. It's exactly like back then. The magical energy rumbles in a whirlpool centered on that lance.
Hog!
The girl readies her apparent sword and glares at the enemy in front of her. The girl, facing the enemy, knows better than I how dangerous he is.
じゃあな、その心臓もらい受ける。
The beast jumps. Lancer instantly appears in front of the girl, as if he teleported and thrusts his lance at the girl's feet. It was a bad move, even to my eyes. With the lance already lowered, it wouldn't be effective to aim low at the girl. To prove my point, the girl jumps over the lance and moves forward to slash Lancer away. At that moment, with words themselves charged with magical energy, the lance thrust at the girl's feet rushes towards her heart. Her body rises into the air. The girl is driven up into the air by the blow of the lance, and she crashes down. No, lands on the ground. She's bleeding. The girl, who hasn't even received a scratch so far, is bleeding badly from her chest.
呪詛。いや、今のは因果の逆転か。
She speaks in pain. I'm surprised too. No, since I saw it from a distance, I can tell better than her that the attack just now was a strange one. The lance was definitely aimed at her feet, but it suddenly changed its course, moving strangely in an impossible direction, and pierced the girl's heart. But the lance itself has not grown or bent. It looks so unnatural that it makes one think that the lance was already in her heart, and for that reason, it's strange. It's not as simple as the lance changing its course and piercing her heart. The lance did not change its course, but changed the means so that the result would be so. The lance thrust with that name carried the result of piercing her heart as a premise. In other words, the process and the result were reversed. As long as there was the result of the lance piercing her heart, the course of the lance was merely something added later to prove that fact. An evil thorn that breaks through all defenses. A lance that pierces the heart every time it's used. A weapon that determines your fate just by its use. How can anyone block such a ridiculous attack? However, the enemy tries to dodge it. The lance will pierce their heart without fail. However the enemy tries to dodge it, the lance will pierce their heart without fail. And that's why this move is fatal. Okay. A cursed lance that always pierces the opponent with one thrust. But the girl has evaded it by a small margin. She is wounded, but it was not a fatal blow. In a sense, her actions were more impossible than the lance. The instant the lance was thrust, she turned and jumped back with all her might, as if she knew this was going to happen. Either she had incredible luck, or enough divine protection to nullify the curse of the lance. Either way, she avoided a fatal blow and sullied the lance's name. The girl catches her breath. The blood that was running so much has stopped, and even her stabbed wound is healing. I guess that's extraordinary. I knew she wasn't normal, but still, that's too strange. Like her skills to fight against Lancer, like the incredible magical energy in each of her blows, like her body that heals by itself. This girl clearly surpasses Lancer. But that was only up to now. Even if it's healing, her wound is deep. If Lancer attacks her now, she'll be defeated without even being able to defend herself. But with this overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He glares at the girl, grinding his teeth so hard that I can hear it.
かわしたな、セイバー。我が必殺のゲイボルクを。
A voice that seems to echo from the ground.
ゲイボルク。オミはアイルランドの光の巫女か。
Lancer frowns. His hostility disappears and he clucks his tongue in annoyance.
ドジったぜ。こいつを出すからには必殺でなけりゃやばいってのにな。まったく有名すぎるのも考えものだ。
The pressure goes away. Lancer doesn't even attack the wounded girl and simply turns his back and moves to the edge of the yard.
己の正体を知られた以上、どちらかが消えるまでやり合うのがサーバントのセオリーだが、あいにくうちの雇い主は臆病者でな。槍が交わされたのなら帰ってこいなんて抜かしやがる。
逃げるのか、ランサー。
ああ、追ってくるのなら構わんぞ、セイバー。ただし、その時は決死の覚悟を抱いてこい。
with one bound, Lancer easily jumps over the wall and disappears.
待てランサー
The wounded girl starts running to pursue the enemy.
バカかあいつ
I run through the yard with all my strength. The girl will go after him if I don't stop her instantly. But there's no need for that. When the girl tries to jump over the wall, she clenches her chest and stops. I run to her and stare at her. No, I tried to approach her to call out to her, but I forgot about it the instant I come near her. To put it simply, everything about her is absurd. Now that I'm near her, I can tell that the shining armor she wears is really heavy. The old-fashioned cloth is smooth and a vivid blue. No, that isn't what fascinates me. The girl, who seems to be a few years younger than me, is beautiful. The golden hair lit by the moonlight is finely textured, as if sprinkled with gold dust. A face with some sign of naivety has elegance, and her white skin looks soft. I can't call out to her because I'm fascinated by her beauty, and also for another reason.
なんで
Because seeing that girl fighting and getting hurt somehow made me mad. No matter how strong she is or how armored she is, I think it's wrong for a girl to have to fight. Great. Oh, fuck. All the while I'm fascinated with her, the girl has her hand on her chest. But that ends quickly. The girl lets her chest go and looks up as if the pain has gone away. She stares directly at me. I'm not sure how I should talk to her, but I notice something about her.
傷がなくなってる
Even though it missed her heart, that lance stabbed her in the chest, but she's unscathed. I've heard of healing magics, but I didn't see her using anything like that. So that must mean even if she gets wounded, she automatically heals. Then my brain switches gear. This is no time to be fascinated by her. She's a strange being. I can't let my guard down until I know what she is.
お前何者だ
I take a half step back and ask her.
何者も何もセーバーのサーバントです。あなたが私を呼び出したのですから確認をするまでもないでしょう。
The girl answers in a quiet voice.
セイバーのサーバント
はい。ですから私のことはセーバーと。
She replies without hesitation. Her tone is polite yet gentle, and just hearing it makes my head go blank. What am I getting excited about?
そうか変な名前だな
I hide my burning face with my hand and reply really stupidly. I don't know what else to say. I wouldn't know of any such thing to say. Since I asked her name, isn't it natural for her to introduce herself? In that case, it would be impolite to stay silent like this.
俺はシロエミやシロって言ってこの家の人間だ
What am I doing? Are my answers getting stupider? But she told me her name, so I should answer too. I know I'm confused right now, but I have to be polite no matter who this is. The girl, Saber, just stares at me without changing her expression.
いや違う今のはなしだ聞きたいのはそういうことでなくてつまりだな
分かっています。あなたは正規のマスターではないのですね。
ね
しかしそれでもあなたは私のマスターです。契約を交わした以上あなたを裏切りはしない。
Crap. I can hear her words, but they make no sense to me. All I know is that she's calling me with her ridiculous word like master.
それは違う俺マスターなんて名前じゃないぞ
それでは素人。ええ、私としてはこの発音の方が好ましい。
As soon as she says my name, I think my face lit up on fire. Shouldn't you call someone by their last name on a first meeting?
ちょっと待て。なんだってそっちの方。
Pain suddenly runs through my left hand. The back of my hand is burning. My hand feels like it's on, my hand feels like it's in a fire, and on it is a strange mark that looks like a tattoo.
それは霊樹と呼ばれるものです、シロ。私たちサーバントを律する3つの命令権であり、マスターとしての命でもある。むやみな使用は避けるように。
お前。
Before I can finish with, "Are you?" the air around her changes.
シロ、傷の治療を。
She speaks in a cold voice. It seems her attention is on something far away, behind the wall and not on me. But is she expecting me to heal her?
待て。まさか俺に言ってるのか。悪いけど、そんな難しい魔術は知らないし、それにもう治ってるじゃないか、それ。
Saber frowns a bit. I think I said something really wrong there.
ではこのままで臨みます。自動修復は外面を覆っただけですが、あと一度の戦闘ならば支障はないでしょう。
あと一度って。
外の敵は2人。この程度の重圧なら数秒で倒しうる相手です。
Saying so, Saber jumps lightly. Just like Lancer, she leaps over the wall and disappears outside. I'm left alone in the yard.
外に敵？
As soon as I say it aloud, I realize what it means.
ちょっと待て。まだ戦うっていうのか、お前。
My body starts to move. Without thinking, I run to the gate with full force. I run to the gate, unlock it with trembling hands, and jump outside.
どこだ?
I search through the dark. The moon is hidden, now of all times, and it is completely dark. But I hear something nearby.
そこか。
I run to the small road with no sign of anyone on it. And it all happens in an instant. Saber's confronting a familiar guy in red. Saber runs at the man in red without hesitation, takes his guard down with one blow, and easily slashes the man in red. Saber raises her arm to finish him off, but right before the man in red's neck is slashed, he disappears as a powerful magic is cast. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes to the person behind the man in red and easily cuts off the large spell the person launches. I knew she was strong, but this is overwhelming. That spell right now was at a level of intervention magic that I cannot comprehend. That spell right now is a level of intervention magic that I can't even compare with. Father could use one as strong as that, but to cast a natural intervention of that power instantly, I don't think even a first-class magus could do that. But Saber nullified even that masterclass magic. The enemy must be a magus, as the match is decided right there. The magus's attacks are no use against Saber, and she mercilessly attacks the magus. A sound of someone falling backwards. The magus has miraculously dodged Saber's blow, but the enemy now cannot move. Saber corners the enemy and points her invisible sword. My mind freezes, probably because the moon lights up the scene for an instant. I can tell that the figure Saber is pointing at is human. I can't tell who it is, but the image of Saber killing someone and getting splattered with blood pops into my mind. My mind. Well, it said my head in there, but whatever. Saber moves. She'll pierce the enemy's throat with the thing in her hand.
Yamero! Saber!
I scream as loud as I can. Her sword stops. Thank God I can't see her sword. The end of her invisible sword isn't wet with the enemy's blood.
やめろ。頼むからやめてくれ。セイバー。
I address her, glaring, preparing myself to do my best to stop her.
なぜ止めるのですシロ。彼女はアーチャーのマスターです。ここで仕留めておかなければ。
No, Saber has no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I said so, and she is ready to bring her sword down at any time.
だから待てって。人のことをマスターだとか言ってるけど、こっちは点でわからないんだ。俺をそんな風に呼ぶんなら少しは説明するのが筋ってもんだろ
う。Saber doesn't answer. She only stares at me in silence.
順番が違うだろう、セイバー。俺はまだお前が何なのか知らない。けど話してくれるなら聞くから、そんなことはやめてくれ。
Saber is silent. Still pointing her sword at the fallen enemy, she looks at me discontentedly.
そんなこととはどのようなことか。あなたはむやみに人を傷つけるな、などという理想論を挙げるのですか。
Not hurting anyone unnecessarily? Well, it is true that we should avoid fights as much as possible, but I'm not so good-natured as to release someone who came to attack me.
つまりあなたは敵であれ命を絶つなと言いたいのでしょう。そのような言葉には従いません。敵は倒すものです。それでもやめろというのであれば、令状を持って私を律しなさい。
いや、そんなことっていうのはお前のことだ。女の子が剣なんて振り回すもんじゃない。怪我をして、そっか。本当に剣を持ってるかどうかはわからないんだっけ。いや、とにかくそういうのはダメだ。
I accidentally pressed whatever. Saber looks dumbfounded, as if taken aback. How long were we standing like that?
で、いつになったら剣を下げてくれるのかしらね、セイバーさんは。
The figure on the ground suddenly speaks. Saber suddenly concentrates her attention on her sword.
諦めなさい。敵を前にして下げる剣はありません。
あなたのマスターは下げろって言ってるのに。セイバーとマーロンサーバントが主に逆らうって言うんだ。
What a fucking troll. Saber grits her teeth. But Saber lowers her sword and relaxes. Saber's hostility disappears, so she must have put away her sword as well.
さ、なら立ってもいいのよね、私。
The one on the ground stands up. She looks shameless, brushing her rear. Hey, wait a second. That sulky person is definitely what?
お前、遠坂。
ええ。こんばんは、エミヤ君。
Tosaka Rin replies with a big smile. And now we're finally past the prologue. That gets me. If she greets me normally like that, everything that happened up to now seems like a dream, and no, my head's about to explode. Jeez, how easy would things be if it did?
いや、だからさっきの魔術は遠坂が使ったってことだから、つまり
魔術師ってことでしょ。まあ、お互い似たようなもんだし、隠す必要もないわよね。
When she replies clearly like that, it makes me seem stupid for asking.
いいから話は中でしましょう。どうせ何も分かってないんでしょ、エミヤ君は。
So saying, she walks towards the entrance.
待て遠坂、何考えてんだお前。
And then she turns, and the smile on her face isn't like the previous one.
バカね、いろいろ考えてるわよ。だから話をしようって言ってるんじゃない。エミヤ君、突然の事態に驚くのもいいけど、素直に認めないと命取りって時もあるのよ。ちなみに今がその時だと分かって。
She glares at me.
分かればよろしい。それじゃあ行こっか、エミヤ君のお家にね。
Tosaka goes through the gate.
なんかすげえ怒ってるぞ、あいつ。
It's only natural. She had a sword pointed at her until now, and she was almost killed.
いや、それにしたって。
Is it just my imagination, or is she totally unlike how she seems at school? So I'm in a strange situation. In front of me is the school's #1 idol, whom I admire, Tosaka Rin. And following silently behind me is Saber, who calls herself a servant. Oh, always suddenly feels like a different dimension. But I can't be a coward forever. I'm a magus, even if I'm just an amateur. Tosaka Rin, a magus just like me, is acting so fearlessly, so I have to act firmly too. But I can only work on a few things. First, about Saber, who's following me. I'm sure that she's some kind of familiar, because she calls me master, and I've made a contract with her. I hear that a familiar is some kind of an assistant for a magus. Most magi transfer parts of their body into something and summon it as another self. For the other, a magus usually uses a small animal. That's simply because it's easy to take over the mind of something like a cat or a dog. Some magi use a human as their familiar, but they need enough magical energy to restrain a human at all times if they do such a thing. But if one constantly uses enough magical energy to control someone, it would take most of the magus's magical energies to sustain the familiar. But that'd be putting the cart before the horse. A familiar is something that assists the magus. To reduce the burden on the magus, it is commonly accepted that small animals are the most suitable. So I've been taught, but...
何かあるのですか、シオ。
ああ、いや、なんでもない。
Saber looks human no matter how you look at her, and she's clearly superior to me, her master. I don't have the magical energy to control such a person, and more than that, I don't have the magical circuit to summon a familiar. So Saber must be from something rather unlike a familiar. She said she is a servant. I don't know what that is, but I think the man called Lancer and the man in red with Tosaka were the same thing. Then it must be that Tosaka is also called a master. I just saw her magic skill. If I'm worth half a magus, she is worth about 3 magi. Though, of course, there's no point in comparing me to other magi when I can only use the strengthening magic. Anyway, Tosaka is an amazing magus. And any spiritually superior land... fucking hell, man. I am losing concentration. Alright, let's try that again. In any spiritually superior land is a family of magi that look after the land. The Emiya family only came to this land in Kiritsugu's generation, so we're just strangers. That's why I didn't know that Tosaka was a magus. And I'm sure Tosaka didn't know that I knew magic. There are several magi in this town that I don't know about. If Lancer is the familiar of another magus in this town, then does it mean that I stuck my head into a conflict between magi?
へえ、結構広いのね。和風っていうのも新鮮だな。あ、エミヤくん、そこが今？
Saying so, Tosaka goes into the living room. Let's stop thinking for now. Let's just listen to Tosaka's story. I turn the lights on. It's already past 1 in the morning.
何よ、窓ガラス全開してるじゃない。
仕方ないだろ。ランサーってやつに襲われたんだ。なりふり構ってられなかったんだよ。
ああ、そういうこと。じゃあセイバーを呼び出すまで一人であいつとやり合ってたの？
やり合ってなんかない。ただ一方的にやられただけだ。
変な見え張らないんだ。
そっかそっか。ほんと見た目通りなんだ、エミヤくんって。
Tosca walks over to the broken window. Tosca takes a piece of the shattered glass, takes a look at it, and... She cuts the tip of her finger and puts a drop of her blood onto the glass. What kind of magic is this? The shattered glass combines on its own and restores itself in a matter of seconds.
遠坂、今の
ちょっとしたデモンストレーションよ。助けてもらったお礼にはならないけど、一応筋は通しておかないとね。もう私がやらなくともそっちで直したんだろうけど、こんなの魔力の無駄遣いでしょ。本当なら窓ガラスなんて取り替えれば済むけど、こんな寒い中で話すのもなんだし。
She says so as if it's something natural. But needless to say, her skills are beyond my understanding.
いや、すごいぞ遠坂。俺はそんなことできないからな。直してくれて感謝してる。
できないってそんなことないでしょ。ガラスの扱いなんて初歩の初歩だもの。たった数分前に割れたガラスの修復なんてどこの学派でも入門試験みたいなものでしょ。
そうなのか。俺は親父にしか教わったことがないから、そういう基本とか処方とか知らないんだ。
は？
Tosca freezes. Damn. It seems like I said something that I shouldn't have.
ちょっと待って。じゃあ何？エミヤ君は自分の工房の管理もできない半人前ってこと？
いや、工房なんて持ってないぞ、俺。
Well, I do have that shed as my training area, but I think Tosaka would get mad if I called that my workshop.
まさかとは思うけど確認しとく。もしかしてあなた5大要素の扱いとかパスの作り方も知らない？
I honestly admit that I don't know. Wow, that's scary. She's so beautiful usually, so she looks really she's so beautiful usually, so she looks pretty scary now.
何？じゃああなた素人？
そんなことないぞ。一応強化の魔術ぐらいは使える。
強化ってまたなんとも半端なのを使うのね。で、それ以外はからっきしってわけ？
Tosaka glares at me.
まあ端的に言えば多分。
There we go. The glare makes my answer vague.
はあ、なんだってこんなやつにセイバーが呼び出されるのよ。まったく。
To be fair, I'm pretty sure I would not be surprised if it's a situation where if every other servant has been summoned, it doesn't matter how strong you are, you're going to get Saber. She sighs. It makes me mad. I haven't been playing around. I know I'm an amateur, but I don't think that matters right now.
まあいいわ。もう決まったことに不平をこぼしても始まらない。そんなことより今は借りを返さないと。
Bitch, you saved him. You don't have any debt. Tosca takes a breath.
それじゃあ話を始めるけど、エミヤくん、自分がどんな立場にあるのか分かってないでしょ。
Do I want to go through this explanation? No, I don't. We're going to save here. We'll do this next time because it's late and I have other stuff I want to do tonight. So that's going to be all for now. I'm going to... Well, I do want to check one thing really quick. Not that. Is it this? Never mind then. Yeah, that's going to be it. Sayonara, Terina. Thanks for watching. Oh, that's not the right one. Well, whatever.